The air grew cold, a shiver ran down my spine, something felt wrong, evil. Charles Manson's darkness lingered here. We were investigating an abandoned prison, a place with a dark history. Murders, suicides, unexplained events. It was a place where evil had taken root. I could feel it watching us, toying with us. The energy was palpable, heavy, and oppressive. We were in for a long night. The prison was in rural West Virginia, miles from civilization. Nestled deep within the dense woods, it stood as a grim reminder of a bygone era. The isolation was palpable, with the nearest town being hours away. This remoteness added to the eerie atmosphere that surrounded the prison, making it a place few dared to visit. Built in the 1800s, it had housed some of the most brutal criminals. The architecture, though grand in its time, now lay in ruins with crumbling walls and rusted bars. Each cell block told a story of pain and suffering, and the decaying hallways echoed with the whispers of the past. The prison's history was as dark as the shadows that now filled its corridors. One name echoed through the halls: Charles Manson. His presence was like a dark cloud that never lifted. The infamous cult leader whose crimes shocked the world had left an indelible mark on this place. His mugshot, faded and worn, still hung on the walls, a chilling reminder of the evil that once walked these halls. Manson, the infamous cult leader, had spent a brief time here in his youth. Even then, his malevolent influence was felt by those around him. The cell he once occupied was now a place of dark pilgrimage, where visitors came to feel the lingering presence of one of history's most notorious figures. The eerie atmosphere of his cell was almost tangible, as if the walls themselves held on to his sinister energy. His presence, even decades later, felt embedded in the very walls. The scratches on the prison walls, the cold drafts that seemed to come from nowhere, all spoke of a lingering malevolence. The empty corridors, dimly lit and filled with an unsettling silence, seemed to watch every move, as if the prison itself was alive and aware of its dark history. The guards spoke of strange occurrences, cold spots, and disembodied voices. They recounted tales of ghostly figures seen in the dead of night, of footsteps echoing through empty hallways, and of whispers that seemed to come from the very walls. These stories, passed down through generations of guards, added to the prison's haunted reputation. We were here to confront this evil, to understand its hold on this place. Armed with cameras, recorders, and a determination to uncover the truth, we ventured into the heart of the prison. Each step was taken with caution, every shadow was scrutinized, and every sound was analyzed. We were determined to document the paranormal activity and to understand the malevolent presence that seemed to pervade every corner of this forsaken place. Little did we know, the evil had plans of its own. As we delved deeper into the prison, the atmosphere grew heavier, and the sense of dread became almost overwhelming. The flickering lights and shadowy figures seemed to mock our efforts, as if the very essence of the prison was resisting our intrusion. We were about to discover that some evils are not meant to be confronted, and that the malevolent presence within these walls had a will of its own. As we stepped inside the prison, the air grew thick with the stench of decay and despair. The weight of countless tormented souls pressed down on us. We were walking into the belly of the beast. Our footsteps echoed in the vast emptiness, the only sound besides our own breathing. The cell doors, rusted and hanging open, looked like gaping maws, hungry to swallow us whole. With every step, the feeling of dread intensified. We were entering a realm where the living and the dead were separated by the thinnest of veils. We set up our equipment in the main cell block, the heart of the prison's darkness. EMF readers crackled to life, picking up on unseen energy. The temperature dropped, sending a chill through the air. The silence was shattered by a loud bang. A metal tray clattered to the floor in a distant cell. We exchanged uneasy glances. Was it the wind or something more sinister? The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen force. We were no longer alone. Something was here with us. Section 5. Whispers in the dark. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. I felt a presence behind me, cold and menacing. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice echoing through the empty cell block. A low growl rumbled through the air, followed by a series of whispers, too faint to decipher. We were surrounded by unseen entities, their voices a chorus of tormented souls. Fear gnawed at the edges of my composure. This was no ordinary haunting. This was something far more malevolent, more insidious. Section 6. The Manson Connection. As we ventured deeper into the prison, the activity intensified. Cold spots, disembodied voices, and the feeling of being watched followed us like shadows. It was as if the spirits were toying with us, herding us toward something. In one cell, we discovered something chilling. Scratched on the wall, barely visible under years of grime, were the words, "Helter Skelter." Manson's words. His presence felt suffocating. The air crackled with energy. The spirits were growing bolder, their anger palpable. We were on the precipice of something truly terrifying. Section 7. Fear and Chaos. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air. One of our team members, Aaron, stumbled back from a cell, his eyes wide with terror. "He touched me," he gasped, pointing to a dark corner. Panic surged through the group. We were in over our heads. The energy in the prison had shifted, becoming chaotic and unpredictable. We had to get out, but as we turned to leave, the cell block plunged into darkness. The exit was gone, sealed off by an unseen force. We were trapped. Section 8. Trapped in Terror. The darkness was absolute, suffocating. We fumbled for our flashlights, their beams weak and insignificant against the overwhelming blackness. Fear choked the air, thick and heavy. The whispers returned, louder now, swirling around us like a vortex of madness. Cold, bony fingers brushed against my skin, sending shivers down my spine. We were at the mercy of these malevolent entities. Time seemed to stand still. Every second stretched into an eternity of terror. We were lost in a labyrinth of darkness, haunted by the spirits of the damned. Section 9. Escape from Evil. Just when we thought all hope was lost, a faint light appeared at the end of the corridor. The exit. It was a beacon of hope in the overwhelming darkness, a promise of freedom from the clutches of the unknown. With renewed determination, we stumbled towards it, our hearts pounding in our chests. Each step felt like a battle against the shadows that seemed to pull us back, but the light grew brighter, giving us strength. The whispers intensified, urging us to turn back, to stay in the darkness. They were voices of despair, trying to break our resolve, to make us doubt our chances of escape. But we pressed on, our will fueled by adrenaline and fear. The fear of what lay behind us was greater than the fear of the unknown ahead. We knew that stopping meant surrendering to the darkness forever. We were not going to become prisoners of this place. The thought of freedom, of seeing the world outside again, kept us moving. Every breath was a struggle, but it was a struggle worth enduring. As we burst through the exit and into the cool night air, it felt like being reborn. The fresh air filled our lungs, and for the first time in what felt like an eternity, we felt alive. The moonlight bathed us, washing away the remnants of fear. The darkness clung to us for a moment, then receded, leaving behind a chilling emptiness. We stood there breathing heavily, our minds trying to process the ordeal we had just survived. The relief was palpable, but so was the haunting memory of the darkness we had escaped. It was a reminder of the fragility of our freedom, and the strength we found within ourselves to reclaim it. Section 10. Scars of the Encounter. We had escaped the prison, but the experience left an indelible mark on our souls. The terror, the despair, the palpable evil, it would stay with us forever. We had stared into the abyss, and the abyss had stared back. The veil between the living and the dead had thinned, revealing the horrors that lie beyond our comprehension. The experience shook us to our core, forcing us to confront the darkness that exists not only in the world, but also within ourselves. Section 11. A haunting reminder. The abandoned prison in West Virginia stands as a haunting reminder of the evil that men do. Its walls, now crumbling and overgrown with vines, once held the echoes of countless souls who passed through its gates. The stories of suffering and despair are etched into the very fabric of the building, a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded within, and the darkness that can linger long after they are gone. Walking through its dark corridors, one can almost hear the whispers of the past, the cries of the forgotten, and the footsteps of those who never left. The empty cells, now filled with shadows, seem to hold on to the memories of their former occupants, refusing to let go. It is a place where the veil between the living and the dead is thin, where the boundary between our world and the next seems to blur. The mist that often shrouds the prison yard adds to the eerie atmosphere, making it feel as though one has stepped into another realm entirely, a portal to a realm of terror and despair. The haunted gateway stands as a sinister reminder of the countless souls who entered, never to return. It is said that on certain nights when the moon is full, the cries of the damned can be heard echoing through the halls, a chilling reminder of the prison's dark past. We may never fully understand the forces at work that night, the unseen energies that seem to permeate the very air. The mysterious night sky, often filled with strange lights and unexplained phenomena, only adds to the sense of dread that hangs over the place. The fog that rolls in, thick and impenetrable, seems to carry with it the weight of countless lost souls. But one thing is certain, the evil that permeates that place is real. The foreboding presence of the prison, with its dark and creepy exterior, serves as a constant reminder of the malevolence that once thrived within its walls. It is a place where the very air seems to vibrate with a sense of unease, where the shadows seem to move of their own accord. It is a testament to the power of the human capacity for both good and evil, a stark reminder of the duality that exists within us all. The contrasting light and shadow within the prison serve as a metaphor for this duality, highlighting the thin line that separates the two. The eerie sunlight that filters through the barred windows casts long shadows, creating an atmosphere of both beauty and terror, and the enduring consequences of our actions. The abandoned prison, now a relic of the past, stands as a monument to the enduring impact of human actions. The mist that often envelops the building seems to symbolize the lingering effects of those actions, a constant reminder that the past is never truly gone. The crow perched on the window ledge, a silent observer, serves as a symbol of the ever-watchful presence of history, reminding us that the consequences of our deeds can echo through time.